Hello and welcome back to more Super Mario Galaxy as played by Dave. I am Dave, and in the last episode we did the Deep Dark Galaxy, and now we're going to move on to the Lime KoolAid Ergo Matter Splatter Galaxy. This is a cool galaxy because it focuses more on that matter generation mechanic that this game has introduced to us in the past, and I kind of like that, how the levels get created as you progress, and you really just have no idea where to go. And if you didn't know what I was talking about before, it's this sort of thing, where the, land just kind of goes and disappears. You know what I mean. But yeah, and I gotta say, I love the color. That's why I call this the Lime KoolAid Galaxy, because that's all I can really think of when I look at this background. It's actually really gross now that I think about it, now that I'm looking at it. It's like that sick green bug, that car, the bug, and they had that green color for the bug beetle? Yeah, it reminds me of that, and I always hated those cars. I saw them a lot more on the road when I was a kid. Actually, now that I think about that, do people drive beetles anymore? Because I haven't seen one in a while. And I'm sure I'm gonna see one the next time I go out, just because I said this now. But I haven't seen them. It's been a while. But, yeah. Of course, we get introduced to our favorite superpower, the spring mushroom, as if we didn't get enough of that in Toy Time Galaxy. Now we're gonna be under pressure, because the level is disappearing and appearing as we go. And the spring mushroom is so annoying because you gotta make sure you hit A at the right time, or else you won't spring upwards like you're supposed to. And then that'll be very bad for you. But I narrowly made that platform, and I'm just kind of dicking around here. But it's good, it's good. We're gonna do well. It's just tedious. More and more busy work. Alright, and that mushroom... Yeah, I was wondering how I was gonna get that, but okay. Cool. So yeah, you don't want to rush through this too quickly, because you won't have anywhere to go, but you also don't want to fall behind too much, because then you'll run out of floor space. But I seem to be doing pretty well here. It's not that bad. You gotta make sure you see where those pink things are. That's the only way you can actually get up. You can't go through all floors. So, actually, that doesn't really make sense how Mario's able to go through that, but I'm not gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about not pressing A and jumping off the side of the thing. And yeah, so just cut back up here. You can probably get this vibe now, but this is actually a post-commentated episode. This is primarily because I flat out lost the audio for this footage, and I'm gonna just post-comment. But the thing about post-commentary is that I actually really like it. I prefer doing live commentary because A, it allows me to churn out stuff faster, even if that's lazy. I don't care. You guys seem to like it anyway. And the reactions are more in the moment. That can be good or bad depending on who you are. But I'm post-comming this one. I don't think there's a problem with that. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you'd actually like to see me post-com other stuff. I do like doing live commentary, and I prefer to do live commentary, and for the majority of my life I will do live commentary, but we could probably work something out where certain Let's Plays I do post-commentary. But yeah. This section's also not that hard. You just gotta make sure you don't fall behind too much and don't stay too ahead. Knock those suckers out. That was great. And again, like here, you want to make sure you don't jump into the blackness without knowing what's ahead. I always try to kind of lean to the back a little bit. As you can see here, I'm waiting, and I'm just gonna go on... which one? The right. And it turns out the right wasn't even where it was supposed to go, and I almost died right there. So that sucks. But I didn't die, which is good, and you can see the star right up there. Wow, that was also quite close, Mario. And let's just... yeah, I go for broke there, because that's a pretty David way to go about things. So yeah, fade to the Dreadnought Galaxy. That was actually all we had to do in Matter Splatter. So no more Lime KoolAid, we're gonna go play with this giant transformer. So, infiltrating the Dreadnought. In this galaxy, you'll actually see that the game starts to pick up. I think I mentioned this in the next episode, because that one's already recorded, and I do have live commentary for that one. But this is actually the game gets a lot harder from this galaxy and up. I mean, this galaxy and the Melty Molten galaxy. However, I looked it up, and it turns out you're actually supposed to do this one after the Melty Molten galaxy, but they're both still pretty difficult, so I think they're both pretty good final galaxies. That was a really cool gravity jump. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, gonna go here, and hey, we got more army Goombas chilling about. So yeah, you gotta kind of wonder, I mean, I touch on this a lot more in the next episode while I'm doing live commentary, but I'll just bring it up now for you to muse upon. There's no Bowser level in this galaxy, and I do kind of think about whether it's, you know, he never got this far, or he was already here. Maybe he was here first, and then he just left, which is why his minions are still here. But it's just a pretty cool theory about how this place exists, because I mean, it's the least natural galaxy we've seen. There's also the Battlestar Galaxy, or Battle Rock Galaxy, and that one was also pretty intense as well. It was pretty industrial. I don't know why I threw that there. Go figure. I'm sure my live commentary was like, oh, I'm gonna throw Starbit at that question mark block, because I can. And I almost die right there, because you guys know how I like to rush things. But then it also bites me here because I'm really annoyed that I have to wait. I don't like having to wait for things like this, especially when it's all mechanized stuff. Which I think you're gonna get experience again. Yeah, I gotta wait for this time now. But in this little engine room mechanical area, you just need to play with the gravity, tinker with it, and you'll eventually get out of here. And hopefully not die in the process, because there are a lot of instant kills here when there's machinery. And we got some cannons going on. I almost wall-kicked right up over there into the cannon, but I fixed that. This is a very scary place to die, and I totally thought I was gonna get hit there, but okay. I'll happily take that. So we just keep going onwards, and I stupidly spin jump there. I probably would have been fine if I just let that thing carry me over. But now we're back outside, and we got the bombs here. Again, lots more of stuff that's indicative of Bowser's presence, so play with that with all what you want. And I was totally in the radius of that explosion, but again, I will happily take whatever the game decides to let me get away with. And that was weird. Oh yeah, this part I'm trying to break the game as per David, but I actually have quite a bit of trouble. So I just kind of give up and start bouncing on these guys. This is a little close to the electricity for my comfort, so I just kind of screw up a little bit. But I'm a bit more comfortable with this now, and I land right on that. And freaking Mario's skeleton stays if you die by electricity, so that was pretty interesting. And I get hit by the electricity again there. So good thing this is not a Daredevil run, because I would have had serious problems at that part. And Goomba, arbitrary, random, but that's whatever. I miss my elevator, which I hate in real life and in video games. That was upsetting. I'm only just noticing now there's spikes under there. That's pretty cool. And I was very glad that I didn't get crushed by the ceiling. It didn't exist, thankfully. And now we're on this very annoying planet. I despise this planet. And those guys are just gonna be like, hey, what's up? You wanna maneuver around us a little bit so we don't shock your brains out and make you cry? And this is why this is annoying. I totally should have been able to do this. You're gonna see me attempt it a few times. This is when I failed, clearly, but I'm gonna try to go for a triple jump. And I go get the triple jump, and I should have been able to wall kick off there. Now, I practiced doing that for quite a while. I spent like 2 minutes, roughly, trying to do that. I eventually gave up, so I just kind of leave that and go on. And I'm still trying to find a way to wall kick up here. And the game developers are just like, they're always one step ahead of me. As you can see, the thing I can wall kick between, they put a freaking ceiling on. So I'm quite upset here, and I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do? What's the fair way to do this? I come up here and there's just a Mecha Koopa and he's got nothing for me. Although this is the place we need to go up to later. I go for broke there, and as you can see, I'm just getting more frustrated. And I'm like, what is going on here? What's the right way? And then I see that, and I'm like, oh, okay. I gotta break that. And so I'm like, where's the bullet bill cannon? It's right there. That little crossfade happened because I was trying to play with the bill in ways that no one should play with bills. and so just, you didn't need to see that. But now we've flooded the planet, and I think these guys are gonna die, right? Are they gonna die? I forget. Yeah, they die. So we just drowned all life on this planet, and those things are gonna be like, what? I swear to you, if I was Luigi, I could have made that triple jump and did this. I would have saved so much time, and that's just me being silly. Although that was the way I was supposed to go, but ADD me sees this thing, and I'm like, oh, what's over here? What could it possibly be? And it's just one of these things. And I don't even get all of it. So that's great. Another crossfade. We're just crossfading all over the place today, aren't we? So I did a little long jump. It was a little risky, but I didn't care. Got electrocuted, but I don't care. I got that star, and I was quite sick of this level. Dreadnought's pretty tough. But not as tough as the colossal cannons, as you're gonna see, because we have more crossfades for you. Oh my god, this one was... You'll see! But, you know, you just wait for Mario to fly. And this thing is a very intimidating looking warship-like thing, but I don't even know what those prongs are supposed to do. But I am just on these screws. I'm like, screw that, I'm gonna go for the long jump, and that was really weird, but I didn't make it, as you can see. I play with some bombs, and I'm just like, alright, I got a bomb, and I'm done. So now we're gonna go back on these nuts or bolts or whatever. Yeah, those are nuts. And I'm gonna let it go a little bit, and I'm gonna be fun, but I'm like, okay, this is far enough, so I'm gonna long jump, and hey, Chompy, he bit me. So that was great. And that guy's gonna be like, hey, I'm a bomb, hey, you miss me? And like, no, none of that. So there's your crossfade, and we're just gonna go... I'm wondering, now that I'm watching this in post, if I could actually have jumped over these little lasers. I don't care, because it's kind of fun to run around at the mercy of these little chain chomplets. Although these chomps are off the chain, so... Chomps? I guess they're not chain chomps, but they got those little doghouse generator things, which I thought was pretty cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna try long jumping here, because that would just be suicide. Although I think I do eventually long jump, yeah, when I think I get close enough, so that's me. And I think these barrels mean we're gonna get some of those octopus guys, which means I gotta play with these nuts and go and hit the melons, and it gets a little bit clustery. I think I almost died there, and I decided to save my life and not get the hit. So that's good. As you can see, we got some minions of King Caliente over here. I have no idea why. That's like the only iota of his presence here. Maybe this is like a central base for all of the allied powers over here. Or I guess I should say Axis powers if we want to put a negative spin on it. Whatever. I digress. Because we've seen top men here, we've seen those octopus guys, we've seen Goombas and Bombs, obviously. And we got introduced to Chain Chomps. But now we're gonna play with the cannons, and this is a giant cluster of death and awfulness. And it doesn't seem too bad right now, you know, it keeps you on edge, but then, you know, it just gets crazier and crazier. That Goomba was not a problem, thankfully, but we're gonna keep going, do some spiffy black flips. No, we're gonna do back flips, get some star bits, and gonna just not die is the most important thing, because it gets very crowded eventually. You will see it soon enough. So yeah, Thwomp, out of nowhere. I even put the cursor to him just because I'm so ridiculously... Why are you here? This is not a castle. I literally feel like Bowser was still at the Mushroom Kingdom. He took one of his swamps in his castle, and he just chucked it out of the atmosphere, and it landed here. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna build my base here, because the swamp's gonna just fly around. I don't know. I don't know why I was so bothered by that or felt the need to go rant on it, but just Thwomp, why do you exist, Thwomp? But whatever. Now I get really screwed up because of that hit on my perspective, and I don't know how to go the right way. So that was great. Oh, check this out. Remember when I said don't long jump in when you don't know what's ahead? Yeah, that's what happens when you do that. But we got more crossfades coming at you, and we're back where we were. And I did not bother with that Goomba because I know he would have destroyed me. Or at least resulted in my demise. So we're doing fine. I get knocked and I'm like freaking out because I thought I was gonna die, but I didn't, which is great, right? Wrong. I died. No, not good. And the reason I keep this in is because I think I actually hit a checkpoint in that long jump, right, like maybe right before or something. That was beautiful, by the way. I love that. That's why I left that in. But yeah, if you look here, I got hit by that one cannon, and maybe it was right around here or something that it killed me or so, or maybe it was here that it killed me, but I don't know. I was really confused, and I think I might have hit some sort of checkpoint that I didn't realize because I was right here, and I wasn't expecting to be here so soon. I thought I had more traveling to do. But I was very happy. I go for the long jump, and I look like a loser, but it's okay because I got a star, and it made me happy. It made me very, very happy. But moving on, we had one more that I do for the rest of this episode, and it's a great one. Revenge of the Top Man Tribe. I love me some Top Men. I love Top Maniac. He's my bro. And we gotta save that Luma, apparently. Did I don't remember saving a Luma in this mission, but I guess I did. Again, go figure. Now, there's a secret underneath this planet. I'm actually going to pursue that in the next episode, and boy, you guys are going to love that. Actually, you may love that. It's not as much of a fail as you may expect, but if you guys know what that mission is, you'll know it's awful. It's absolutely dreadful. And Luma's going to be like, get me out of here, and I'm going to be like, what do you think? You're my ride out of here. So I fail at hitting this top man properly, but I get him eventually. And this Luma is gonna be like, hey, thanks for saving me. I'm gonna commit suicide and sling you. So thank you for ending your life and letting me go. Seriously, he ends his life and turns into a slingshot. That's not the most glamorous afterlife, you know? I could think of better heavens. And I'm actually wondering this now. I know I've talked about Paper Mario a few times in this Let's Play, but do you think the Lumas are like Star Kids? If you remember, in Paper Mario, the Star Kids were like, you know, Twink was a Star Kid. Maybe Star Kid wasn't the right terminology, but whatever. You know, they had these little stars that would talk to you, and they would run around and mess around, and they had like personalities and stuff, so I'm wondering if Lumas were at least somewhat inspired by that. I'm glad I got hit there because I saw this mushroom, and I'm like, wow, that will help me a lot. And trust me, it does. I get hit stupidly again. This is a really annoying part. I'm not a fan of it because certain things can really screw you up. I try to grab that mushroom or something. Like, you guys saw that, right? I get hit twice here, thrice there, and I forget to... that was great. I completely fly all the way back. And me being a rusher, I fall to 0 health, get flung all the way back to that little missile or whatever, and I just... That was awful. A lot of bad things happened here. And it was kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool how you get dead and then you just get flung all the way back before it, like, reminds you, hey, Mario, you're out of life juice. But we're gonna fly over to this little planet thing. I don't know if I can really call this a planet. It's more like a platform in the sky. And I'm gonna get electrocuted. At this point, I've given up. I'm gonna get hit a lot. And so I just stop caring. I see that mushroom and I go for it. Almost jump right over it, but I get the health. Only to lose some of it. But that's okay. I'm good. And I muse upon, for like a moment, what's in this treasure chest, and then I realize how much I don't give a crap. So I just go over to the launch star. Get shocked again, of course. And we are back at Top Maniac's little home base UFO. So that was... I'm not even gonna say anything about that. That was ugly. But not as ugly as this guy. Because he's a douchebag. So he's gonna give his children up, and I stupidly do a homing jump, which decided to target the Top Man instead of Top Maniac. And I do it again. I thought I was gonna do something stylish, but again, looked silly. At this point, I'm like, I wish I could buy something from that Luma. So I just jokingly jump off, and it turns out you actually can. I can actually buy something from the Luma, and I'm like, okay, screw that, I was just joking around, but okay. So I decided not to buy something, mainly because I don't feel like spending star bits, and I just think that's kind of lame, ducking out in the middle of a boss fight to buy life. I'm just like, oh hey, excuse me, I don't think I can beat you right now, so I'm gonna just get some extra health. Don't mind me, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, and that's just kind of funny to me. But I kill him, and I'll see you next time, live.